Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to look at something kind of weird.
This is no time for self-doubt. Or is it? Action.
See, I told you it was weird. That was Carlos Maza. If that name sounds familiar to you, he's the guy with the really thin skin who threw a major fit because Steven Crowder made fun of him and ended up changing the rules on YouTube so that nobody could hurt his precious little feelings. He was also in a dispute with his employer and thought this might help his image and give him a little more leverage. Didn't quite work out that way. Carlos is now jobless and joining us here on the YouTubes to try to make some money. This is actually Carlos's second video since he's been back, and while it is a little weird, there's more to it than just that.
Electability. What is it? Who has it? And can I put it in my mouth?
If I were the type of person to make the jokes that Steven Crowder made that got him in trouble, I might make one right here. But I recognize a trap when I see one. Nice try, gay wonk. Nice try.
For the first time in forever, we have not one, but two left-wing populists who are viable candidates to be president.
Viable candidates. An old commie and a new convert. If you haven't guessed yet, this whole video is going to be Carlos trying to explain why Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have a real chance of being president and why we should embrace them. And yeah, it's as dumb as it sounds.
Mom and Dad don't agree on everything, but what they do agree on is pretty big. Tax the hell out of the rich, expand government programs for the working class, and give this guy a wedgie whenever possible.
Sorry, I forgot to mention, we get to sit through what leftists consider comedy throughout this. This is actually one of the better jokes.
More importantly, both of them have built their campaigns on this revolutionary idea that the ultra-wealthy shouldn't be in charge. Whether it's healthcare or banking or climate change, both Mom and Dad start from the premise that corporate interests are usually at odds with the public interest.
It was kind of creepy when Milo Yiannopoulos kept referring to Trump as daddy, but at least he was kind of making a joke. Here, where Carlos keeps calling Warren mommy and Bernie daddy, he's being far more literal. It's what he wants. He wants government to take care of him, the way his mom and dad used to pay his bills for him so it's not his responsibility. It's part of Carlos's MO. This is what happened when Steven Crowder made fun of him. Carlos ran and told mommy Susan Wojcicki, "Steven's being mean to me." Sorry. "Steven's being mean to me." He's a whiny man-child looking for somebody else to take care of him, to raise him as an adult.
And that the function of the state is to take power away from the ultra-wealthy and give it back to the working class.
Stop. Stop pretending this is about power. This is about money. It's about taking money from the rich and pretending to give it to the poor. It's about redistributing wealth. It's a game of class warfare designed to make stupid people hate rich people because the rich people have things that the poor people don't. It's dressed up as, look how wealthy they are and how poor you are. They never mention that that guy's wealth isn't stopping you from gaining any.
That's a pretty big idea. One that fundamentally challenges the way our economy has worked for a while. But instead of asking whether this idea is good, media coverage has focused on a very different question.
Are Democrats snatching defeat from the jaws of victory by moving too far to the left?
Too far to the left.
Too far left.
Too liberal, too socialist.
The definition of unelectable.
It's more than winning the primary. It's about who's going to be able to take on President Trump.
Personally would worry that somebody too far to the left would end up isolating the center and the middle.
The defining question of the defining question of the Democratic primary hasn't been about values or goals. It's been about electability. Democrats are blowing this election. Bernie Sanders is a risk we can't run. Elizabeth Warren wants to lose your vote. I made cynicism my entire personality. There's this assumption in the media that America is a center-right country. But is that actually true? If you look at the big progressive ideas on the left, tax the rich, Medicare for all, free college, break up the banks, they all poll pretty well.
Well, sure. If you're going to lie to people, there's a good chance they'll fall for it. As long as you don't call socialism socialism, they might let you get away with it. But as soon as you start calling it socialism, they turn up their nose. In 2018, a survey showed 76% of Americans would not vote for a candidate who was a socialist. Want something a little more modern? A Gallup poll from 2019 shows us that 57% do not favor socialism, 60% like capitalism, and an astounding 87% say they're for free enterprise. You have to lie to people to get them to fall for this bullshit. And those very liberal Democrats who work for CNN and MSNBC, they are worried that when you have a candidate who openly calls himself socialist and is pushing socialist programs, they're going to lose and lose big.
And it's not just specific policies either. A study of public opinion in 2018 found that we're the most friendly towards government regulation, higher taxes, and government programs that we've been in 60 years.
Oh dear Lord, are you actually going to make me make your argument for you? If you paid attention to the damn thing, you'd see it was actually the most liberal we've been ever. Why wouldn't you go with that line? I guess it's probably because you just went out there and searched for something to prove your point, which happened to be a Vox article, and didn't bother to read the goddamn thing. However, if you pay attention to this survey, you might notice something. The mood of the country tends to go up and down based on whether we have a liberal or a conservative in office. The more conservative they are, the more liberal the country tends to get. The more liberal they are, the more conservative the country gets. It's almost like we like to bitch about whoever's president and that this aggregate survey means absolutely fucking nothing.
Sorry, Grandma. We're communists now. Plus, this whole idea of losing moderates is weird. Nobody really knows what moderates are. Independent and swing voters are kind of all over the place politically. Now look, maybe there is some big group of Rust Belt centrists who love rich people. I'm not a political scientist.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need my ducks. Sorry, I can't take any more of this guy. His pathetic attempts at humor, his blatant and poorly done ripoff of ContraPoint style, his desperate need for a mother and father in his life, it's just too annoying. So I'll summarize, though you can and should check out the links to his video and every other source down below. Carlos goes on to whine that the media doesn't want Bernie elected because they're all rich. He has special disdain for Chris Matthews, and this was before Matthews compared Bernie's Nevada win to the Nazi takeover of France in 1940. Bet you whatever little dog he owns got the shit kicked out of it that night. But yeah, the news just hates Bernie because his daddy is going to take all of their money and give it to him. It's a bit sickening to watch people, anyone, this asshole or otherwise, think it's a bad thing that people want to keep their own money. It's not new. We have to hear this shit anytime there's a tax cut. Trump gave money to the rich. No, shithead, he's letting them keep their money because it's their money, not yours. But the children of Bernie have brought us to new heights with this nonsense. We have to take their money because, they have it and we don't. It's fucking stupid. Unless rich people are actually stealing from you, they aren't keeping you from acquiring wealth. Carlos could have been one of those commenters on MSNBC or CNN, but he's an asshole that no one wants to work with. He went whining all across the press about Crowder making fun of him, and then tried to leverage the minuscule fame he got from that into forcing Vox to bow to worker demands. No one cares that he's gay or what color he is. Even Crowder didn't care. Those were just cheap jokes. But he showed he'd played that card at a moment's notice, and no one wants to deal with that. So here he is, relegated to YouTube to make a living, and begging for mommy and daddy to take care of him. Welcome to YouTube, Carlos. I hope you find a mommy or daddy to take care of you, just not in our federal government. I wish you all the best, but you're still an idiot. And Bernie still has huge electability issues, and that was before he tried defending Castro with that literacy bullshit. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. Don't forget to hit the like button, share it if you would, and follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I'll see you next time.
Electability. What is it? Who has it? And can I put it in my mouth?
Your life makes me sad.